Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We should have a good one on tap here today. It's the Browns coming in at 7-2, going up against the Steelers, who come in at 3-6.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. So the D-line's going to spread out. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Dobbs now on second down. Going deep for Montgomery. And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now a play fake here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball. Make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now a handoff as they run left side. And now running right through him. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
On second down, Dobbs. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They come out here in the I. Big play here. 3rd down and goal. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. They're going to try and run. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It
certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Second down following the run. On play action, they'll throw. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Unable to connect on the 1st down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This one fielded at the 5. Nifty move. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They run the counter now on first down. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. A handoff as they run the counter play. Got some room at the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And some space here. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy. I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here. For a good little gain. So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only able to work it to the 20 after the nice broken tackle. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Out of the gun, Dobbs. And he couldn't corral it. It falls down incomplete, but maybe not a big deal given this big lead.
I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
Now a handoff as they run left side. He finds an opening past the 40. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play that time for Cleveland. 52 yards on the ground. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And now here's a carry heading left. Open space inside the 10. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another first down run right there.
Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. This is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game. And the Browns are back within a score. And he's got it up and through. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
The game clock setting at 2:02, so they'll get one play before the 2-minute warning. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Throwing here, Dobbs. Steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A minute 57 to go in this first half. More from Cleveland after this. To throw is Dobbs. He's going to float this one deep right side. Muscling free near the 40. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he'll get this up to about the 40. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll look to throw here. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong.
And the ball is knocked out. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he'll give it here to his running back. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Dobbs is throwing. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running.
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So a good kick that time, and he's able to redeem himself from the previous miss.
And fortunately for him, he got the chance to do that not long after missing the first time. Sometimes a whole game goes by, and you don't get that chance at all. So you keep it with you till the next time you take the field.
And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll throw now on the final play. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 4 yards remaining now on second down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And now here's a carry heading left. Always got some breathing room. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard around the 37. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Well, they didn't really have to earn that first down, did they?
Well, they're not having to earn much, are they? Back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a first down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now they try the right side here. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now it's 2nd and 7. Shift together here from the D-line. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. He's to the 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Browns get a score closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. So it'll be first down here after the run. And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. Gave a glimpse of his power, but not a whole lot of space. Down at the 30. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Dobbs. And that is incomplete.
A good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's a rare 2-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him physically or mechanically. He's just having one of those games.
Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. Now a handoff as they run left side. And some room to roam now. touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Browns move back within a couple of the lead. And they'll get set here looking for the two-point conversion. They're going to keep it on the ground. And this time he'll be stopped short of the goal line. He might have been out of gas after the long run. In any event, the try for two fails. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. So the D-line's going to spread out. On 1st and 10, Dobbs over the middle, complete. That's Montgomery. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now Dobbs. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And now here's a carry heading left. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now a handoff as they run left side. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? This is taken at the 3. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're looking to turn things around here. They've been shut down in this 3rd quarter. That was after a good first half offensively.
And you wonder where it all goes, and it feels like it goes away fast because it takes some time to build up good momentum, great play calling, excellent execution, and then you're like, blink of an eye, you're losing the game. How do you get back there again? I'm sure they've talked about it, and they've got a plan. Now can they put it into practice?
The lead gone, now the search to find it again. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Back to throw Dobbs. Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And now here's a carry heading left. Space to run past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And he pushed it right. It's no good. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They had that lead, looked pretty comfortable in the first half, maybe got a little bit overconfident because that's gone now.
Almost takes us back to being kids, doesn't it? Because I know at some point your dad did the exact same thing mine did.
Okay.
It's okay to be confident, son, but overconfident, that's not a good thing. And that's maybe what we saw here. They thought they had this thing in hand, had full control, and guess what? They got to find a way to get back to where they were before.
You think Papa Davis and Papa Gordon would get along?
I think they'd get along just fine. And you know something? They'd still be giving us advice.
Absolutely. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Here's Dobbs to throw. Going deep for Montgomery. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Here's Dobbs to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So the defense gets to the quarterback. Now the offense backed up on second down. Now a handoff as they run left side. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to bring up the third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On first down, Dobbs to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Dobbs looking to throw on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Dobbs. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 12. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Well, hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 51 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw here. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Time for a break. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 14. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be.
And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there for the Browns. 52 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
They'll drop to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He's going to let it flop. And my goodness, another interception. T.J. Green with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. They go play action here on first down. It's caught left side by Cooks. A big play that time for Cleveland. 43 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets are.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And to the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. They'll look to throw here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Out of the gun, Dobbs. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Browns, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.